And welcome everybody back to the channel. With me here
I'm right
today,
on time.
you're never on time. With
What do
me
you
here
mean? How
today.
could I not be on time? Like I seen the countdown. It said 2, 1. I knew to be silent. Boom. Start the stream.
So, with me today to talk about a show about a bromance is my bro.
Oh my
uh,
god. What are you what are
my
you what are you doing
my
to this review?
wait. Which one of us is Simon and which one of us is Trevor?
Um Good question.
I
I'm
mean,
unsure.
you're serious, so I'm gonna have to say you're Simon. I'd be more of Trevor,
Okay, that was
getting
the
into
one.
wacky shenanigans.
I was leaning that way, but I didn't want to be the one with the superpowers because it seems greedy.
What's up, everybody? So, unlike my review that'll be coming out after this one, I went to see the Strangers, Chapter P, or Chapter 3 for all of those. What a beautiful fucking train wreck! Can't wait to talk about that one in my review that I'll be posting tonight. But thankfully, to start off, I need a palate cleanser. So I wanted to talk about an actual good show. And one of so far the most surprising shows of this year to me, which was Wonder Man. This came out of nowhere like Andor. And this is an interesting show because it is a Marvel show that has none of the Marvel traits and we'll say baggage that we have come to expect from Marvel because it's a superhero show that does not at all focus on superheroes. So it's, I think you said it best. How did you put it? Uh, we had been missing
Which
characters.
part? I said so many good things about this show when we were talking, and then I yelled at you because I was like, we should be fucking live right now.
I know. I believe one of the ones you said to me was that this was more about the characters as opposed
Oh,
to.
okay. So that was one of the things that was in my mind. Yeah. It's more about the characters than the set pieces or the individual moments.
Where they used to do this, and it used to be that you
Like
had
even
great.
even in even in phase 1 that everybody loves, there's a lot of it like in the movie, not like the entire movie, but a lot of points in the movie where you're like, "Oh yeah, that was awesome when that happened."
But a lot of the movies, even
Like
back
there's
in
not
those
a
days.
let's I'll give you the coup de grace of it. So there's not a lot of talking or acting or really anything going on per se in the Avengers when the 6 of them get together in New York and then the camera spins around them. Like that's a huge moment. Everybody remembers it, and it's there's almost zero character interaction at the moment.
But then you had the moment when Coulson died, which was also
Oh, right.
that
That's
was
what
just
I
all
mean.
that.
That is what makes those movies as great as they are, is that they have both aspects to it.
So
But it
here's a
seems
little
like the stuff
interesting.
that we've been getting in phase 4 and 5 is more like, hey, look at this crazy thing happening.
Yeah, and I think, and I'm hoping this is a good direction that Marvel is going into. But first, I want to get the boring stuff out of the way. So I'm going to just say who was in charge of this because I think it's really important.
Who the hell is Ted?
Uh, who the? Oh, General Zod, what are your thoughts on Ted Sarandon's plant saying that James Gunn's Superman is underperforming and that Snyder broke? I have to look it up. Thank you for bringing that up. I will look into this Ted fellow because that's news to me. Keep in mind too, I've been writing, so I've been a little bit out of the entertainment news and been doing um other things. But if they said that, they're a fucking moron. Uh, Most people forget and will go a little side tangent. That's the great thing about these reviews. It's never a linear line. We talk about the show, but we also get sidetracked. I just want to put out there and keep this in mind. Unlike PB, I actually am a fan of Zack Snyder and give him more of a benefit of the doubt. But if people remember Zack's DC run, it was very controversial. We all agree Man of Steel was great. Everybody was 50-50 on Batman Superman. You have some people who defend it. I hate Lex Luthor, but I think the rest of the movie was okay. It was serviceable. I didn't mind it. A lot of people had an issue with it. And then you had the Justice League, which was, I loved it. I think PB suffered a lot.
What do you mean?
uh,
For what?
for Zack Snyder's Justice League, not
Oh, Zack Snyder's Justice League has 8 pages of notes. Someone.
but I would say if we're going toe to toe, I'll be honest with you. I take Zack Snyder's Man of Steel over the new Superman film. I did not like it at all, and I have a
I only
room with
watched the new
Chris.
Superman film one time.
Yeah, I've watched Man of Steel like 4. I've seen the new Superman
I mean,
once, no, twice, because I
Peacemaker season
tried.
2 is better than Superman, that's for sure.
Yes, and it was weird because I thought for sure, because PB has defended a lot of Marvel movies to me that I just think are shit, and we are on polar opposites of She-Hulk. You don't think it's a good show, but PB finds terrible things entertaining about it.
That's what I said. It's not a great show. It's definitely not a great show, but I
but
enjoy some trash.
you know what's hilarious though, PB? I came back, and maybe I'm having Stockholm syndrome. I came back from the Strangers Chapter 3, and I got what you were saying. It's a terrible movie, but there's something with a product that reaches that terrible point where you're just like, it's becomes fascinating to watch because you're like, how bad are they going to? And that movie doesn't disappoint. But let's talk about a good thing. So, Wonder Man. Yeah, I think that's a stupid statement, though. James Gunn has a better track record than Zack Snyder. Zack Snyder has uh, 3 things he did. James Gunn, I like Creature Commandos. I loved Peacemaker, except for the end of season 2. And
Well, that was my point, is that Peacemaker is better than Superman, and Peacemaker season 2 is a disappointment compared to season 1.
and in all actuality, though, I still watch those, even up to that final. Um, as opposed to watching Superman again. So yes, in the theatrical sense, he beat him, but I think Supergirl is going to fucking surprise a lot of people. You're still gonna have people who are gonna talk shit and the crazy fucking weird Zack Snyder fans, but I think that Supergirl is where we're gonna really see this universe kind of kick off and really.
I feel like this is quintessential us starting a stream that is dedicated to the review of a Marvel show, all DC talk.
That's
what
you
we
get
do.
It
happens all the time.
It happens all the time. Okay, so let's go back. Speaking of Marvel, this is their kickoff to me. Okay, this is the first project of this year, and I gotta say, comparatively, we haven't seen DC's first one yet, but Marvel comes out swinging. One, we need to drop Marvel shows like this. They need to drop them all at once, because I don't think, especially because this show is very character focused and it's all acting, I don't think this show is as successful or talked about if you did this week to week. I feel like people would have dropped off. And I think that you need people to gauge these kinds of projects. What can you string along? Like, you can string along Peacemaker. There's so much action and things in an episode that people tune back in. They did. Fallout, things like that. Invincible. But certain Marvel projects, like Moon Knight and things like that, I think they would have had a better reception if they would have been dropped all at once instead of.
I don't know the algorithm or the AI that's deciding which ones get dropped all at once and which ones get run on the weekly basis, because my personal stance, as I always remind you, is that we should do everything weekly, because then that extends the amount of time that it's talked about. So maybe you don't talk about it for 7 nights in a week, right?
Yep.
So like you get your one episode, talk about the one episode, maybe you talk about that same episode with somebody else. So
But here's the thing, though, that works, but
that's
I don't
two
think it works.
days of engagement. Whereas, how many days of engagement do you get when you drop everything all at once? It depends on how long it takes to watch, and if you don't have anything going on, you could probably get through all this in one day. I didn't get through it in one sitting.
I did.
I watched the first 5 and then the last 3.
I did. Like this show is like crack. So, also too, because this is so special and it's only 8 episodes, we're gonna break down all the episodes and give an individual ranking of the episode, and then we're gonna give a final ranking for the series. So, that way that way we could give our week to week thought. And I want to say too that the person who did this, he did Shang-Chi, which was one of my favorites in the new ones, and he's doing the upcoming Spider-Man. So this guy has done the action heavy, and arguably this director did the best movie in the newer phase. Like like a lot of people can say what you want to. I think Shang-Chi was the best out of that slate that we've gotten in quite some time. And then he's doing Spider-Man Homecoming, but he's also doing this. And it's interesting because this felt like him showing that he can not only do the big action, but he could do the character work too. And it makes me super fucking excited now for Spider-Man. And you know my feelings on Tom Holland Spider-Man. I do not like Tom Holland. Tobey Maguire's my Spider. For the unicorn, she loves Andrew Garfield. I think that's more of a aesthetic thing and not so much.
No, it's not.
It is totally.
No, it is not.
You totally want to ride a skateboard.
Shut up.
So, PB, let's talk about the first episode. And this is why I want to just point this out. This is why I think
I didn't rewatch it, so forgive me if I don't remember everything.
I'm going to do a brief synopsis. So basically, this is the first episode where Simon was fired from American Horror Story. We see
that was a great opening.
Yeah, we see the best.
To be able to introduce your main character and get you immediately inside of his thought processes.
Oh, and interesting thing, this had a lot of guest cameos, and unless you're a freak like me who watches everything, I actually watch a lot of American Horror Story. I've seen every season. And the chick that's in it, the black chick that he's talking to, she's the actual executive producer on American Horror Story.
Which
the one who's like, he keeps on saying, I'm not really feeling the scene. I think my character would do this. That black lady, she had to like.
So it was, I assume it was whoever was directing the scene.
Yes.
She went back and talked to the suits, and then the producer came over and fired him.
She's an actual producer, and she writes some of the scripts for American Horror Story. And this is another thing that I liked. If you look, there's a lot of people in this show that are actually from whatever they're talking about, or that are actual directors and shit, that are in this movie that I picked up on. You wouldn't know unless you do what we do here. But it was just kind of like cool little nods, you know what I mean? That where I was like, holy shit.
See me nod.
Okay, so he gets fired from the American Horror Story and gets dumped by his girlfriend, and then meanwhile
because he never lets her in.
He doesn't. And the protagonist, the best fucking character ever created, Trevor Slattery.
Slattery.
We find out he meets up with Simon. They're watching a movie together. And then
oh yeah, because he went to go yell at him for being on his phone during the previews. You know what? Like, I'm not yelling at anybody for being on their phone during the previews.
I want to take somebody's phone and fucking beat them
Like even
over
when
the
they're
head with it.
when they're playing whatever trailers they're playing beforehand. If you want to be on your phone, then I don't give a shit. As soon as the screen goes black, everything needs to be turned the fuck off.
Yeah, I just find it funny. You pay like $20 fucking and then $80 in food just to fucking
What are
waste
you
your time.
eating? Jesus Christ, man! $80, even with 3 people. 3 people cost you $80 in
Honey,
food.
how 3 people, was it like $45-50 last time we went? I was embellishing the 80, but it was like $50, right?
Okay.
Me, you.
Well, you had, I don't know.
Yeah, it was about 50. It was me, the
Right.
bitchy unicorn,
So let's
and the little dictator.
Right, I know. It was 3 people. We know who the 3 people are. So what? How much was the tickets? Because I assume it wasn't 3D. I assume you didn't watch it in 3D.
They were like 15, weren't they? Like
So
14?
15.
No, it was like 30 altogether.
Oh, okay.
30
more
for
like
3
12.
tickets.
Yeah.
That's not terrible.
It's not good. I'll tell you what. I paid $9 today for the strangers, and that was still too fucking much.
Yeah, but you review things.
God, I wish I didn't sometimes.
That's fair.
Not with this
to
show.
be fair,
PB.
you'd probably
This
go
show
see
makes me
you
love
would-
reviewing.
You would go and see the majority of things that you were going to go and see anyways, even if you didn't.
I don't know how Perp does it. Perp sees more movies than both you and me put together. I'm doing my January top 10.
Yeah, I
list.
mean, I assume that there's got to be some deal at his theater where he does like the monthly pass, and they like, okay, you get 2-3 movies a day.
I think he's just a fucking VIP there. I think they're just like, Perp, here's your seat. That's what I'm saying at this point. He's got
it reserved.
He has funded, I'm fairly sure, tons of college tuition.
What the fuck does that mean?
People who work at they're paying for college, they are still employed because Perp has been going.
What is up, Thomas?
Hey, Thomas, what is up? Good to see you. Yeah, Wonder Man is great, and definitely check it out. We're going to be breaking it down.
You should check it out sooner than later.
So, okay, so long story short, we find out Mandarin meets him at a theater. He finds out about a casting audition for the remake.
No, hold on. Don't skip the point of what happens in the scene. Is that when Simon meets Trevor, Trevor's like, oh yeah, you know me from being the Mandarin. He's like, no, and I don't remember the other thing, but it was something he did way before that. He goes, oh yeah, not a lot of people know that one.
Okay, so there's a couple of things I want to focus on really quick. One thing that took me back. Now, as you guys all know on the channel, Father Zod, asshole, don't really get along. But I couldn't help but to feel a bit of something because for all of the issues that we've had, I did get that feeling. You know that feeling of when you went to the movies with someone.
Feeling?
Yes. So, watching him go to see a movie with his dad did kind of hit a nerve for me because for all of the faults that he had, I do remember going to the theater. Every time I saw my father, we'd always go and see a movie together, and that was our thing. And so, unlike most people, like I was hooked. I don't know about you. Like people said, oh, it took to 2 or 3 episodes. But the opening scene.
No, I would agree with that. I mean, I did not rate these first episodes high because they seem slow.
Okay, and we're gonna get to that. But for me, the first episode got me. But maybe it's because I had a different perspective. That moment of
even
his father take him to the movies.
In the scene where in the scene where they meet, like it's not a massive amount of time, but there's too much time of us sitting there watching them watch an old movie that we're not watching.
But see, I just
too much. Like they need to. I feel like if they would have just trimmed it down, You keep the conversation essentially flowing.
See, I love this because we both like this, but now I'm going to disagree with you. Who knew? Wait, but here's the weird thing: is when we agree on shit that we don't like, but we always disagree the most on what exactly we like about a show we like. So
Weird, hey?
You're welcome, people. I disagree. I think that scene is perfect because I don't know about you. I don't know what your movie watching habits are in theater, but for me, that brought that nostalgia to me. Like, I get what you're saying. It's boring because they're watching the movie. Technically, we're not. But I was in it, man. Do you get what I'm saying? I felt like I was in the theater with them watching it and looking. And this is what I'm talking about. Great acting. Their facial expressions, where they see the particular scene, and you could see Trevor being moved by it and him being moved by the scene, and they're both kind of connecting on the medium of movies, storytelling, and these are the things I actually like about the show. It's almost like a love letter to people who love movies and media, and that fucking feeling you get where the world could be shit, things can be going down, but you go and you watch a movie just to fucking escape. I feel like this show gets it. This show gets what it is to enjoy media. And for me, I enjoyed those moments. I enjoyed feeling like I was sitting in the theater watching it with them, having that same experience. But I get what you're saying. But for me, I don't know. Call me fucking pompous, and
I don't think that's the word at all. But okay.
Call me whatever. Try to be fancy, but
shame on you for having a good time at the movie theaters.
I mean, I don't have any nostalgia for the movie theater.
But see, that's where I do. I have that fucking feeling like walking in, smelling popcorn.
Like, it doesn't necessarily, right, like, I don't have the emotional connection with it. I like to go to the movie theater. I wish I would go to the movie theater more, but unfortunately, it's not just me. There aren't as many good movies that I would want to see. Like, you're willing to give a lot more things a chance by paying for them up front.
Oh yeah. Oh dude. No, this year has some bangers. We got Liam Neeson Cold Storage coming out. There's just on the horror end. That's just,
I know that there's some good stuff coming out.
But no, I get what you're saying.
But I don't use the theater in that fashion. Like, I'm a big fan of 3D movies.
See, I'm not.
Like, taking something like, even something that's great, like The Hangover. Like, I wouldn't go and see The Hangover in the movie theater because I would be like, it's just a comedy. Like, no, I'm not going to understand the jokes if you try and repeat them from the movie. And then when I see it in the movie, it's still going to be the first time for me. Whereas if I don't go and see Doomsday in 3D, I'll never get to see it in 3D because even if you got a 3D TV, it fucking sucks.
Yeah. See, but I think...
I'm an action movie at the movie theater person. I'm not going to see comedy. I'm not going to see dramas. Like, I'll go and see a rom-com if I was going on a date.
But you get what I'm saying about the brilliance of the show?
Like, I went and saw Wicked. I would never go and see that by myself.
Oh, God, it was so bad. Now,
I did not think it was bad.
No, I meant my experience. I think
okay.
My rating is highly affected, and I said it too. I can be objective in that sense and say my rating is solely based on my theatrical experience. But see, this is what I'm saying. And this is the brilliant thing about this show, PB. For me, we're not just talking about this show now, though. We're talking about what media means to me. And I think that's the greatest strength of this show, is just exploring the love. Why are we fans? Why? Like, remembering seeing Star Wars for the first time. I saw it on Laserdisc. A New Hope. Kids, you don't know what a Laserdisc is, go look it up. But it was a big-ass fucking disc, and you put it...
I'm pretty sure I've seen...
Star Wars.
I'm pretty sure my first Star Wars experience was on the Betamax.
Oh man, see, I would have loved to do the Betamax now. We see PB, we were high end. We had the laser disc.
I know shit, hey?
People don't realize that was the first prototype for DVD, so you're welcome. Laserdisc phased out Betamax, so
Yep.
you're welcome, guys.
Trying to take care of that ribbon was not a good idea.
But I get what you're saying, and I also could see how people would be a little bit bored. I want to just skip ahead to the part where there's an audition, and then we see towards the end as a stinger that Slattery is working with the Department
Of
Damage
damage control.
Now, two things I got to say about this. One of them looks like an evil Conan O'Brien. Two, I do not fucking like these guys as villains, but I think that they work specifically in this kind of setting.
Well, I
Like,
like the fact
small
that
scale.
it's a superhero show, but there are not like world-ending stakes.
It's kind of like a superhero being pursued by like the FBI, basically.
Maybe superhero isn't the right word. Superpowered.
Superpowered
He's
individual.
not necessarily a superhero or a villain or anything at this point. He's just a guy
He's
trying
just
to
guy
get a
with
job
power.
to prove to his dad that he's not a failure. The show's about Trevor.
Okay, so I'm with you. This episode's a little bit slower.
I'm glad that you said you were with me on the shows about Trevor.
Oh yeah. If you guys know nothing about this channel, you should know we are total Trevor Slattery whores on this channel. Okay? You can sit there and fucking say Iron Man 3 was bad or whatever, but don't dare fucking badmouth Trevor Slattery on this fucking... We will kick you.
Not a single
There's
bad
no
scene
Trevor
with him
Slattery.
in him, depending on what character he's playing.
Honestly, okay, hot take. I honestly think they should have casted him as the Mandarin. Like, the legitimate Mandarin.
Ready for another lesson?
Dude, so I was so
It's
jazzed.
so good.
Oh, and I'm not... We'll get there. But that scene, I had one tear. The one tear. Because I knew what was fucking coming. And I'm like, no!
Oh, yeah, that was... Oof.
Oh, man. Okay, but we'll get there. So,
in the immortal words of John Campea, the emotional weight.
So, first episode, matinee, what would you rate it?
I gave it a 6.
You know what's crazy? Actually, that was the first number that popped into my head.
Like, I'm not gonna lie. After I watched just the first episode, I was like, okay, I guess I'm whelmed because I was neither overwhelmed or underwhelmed. So I was just whelmed.
And keep this in mind, too, because people seem to think if you go lower numbers, if we go into 5 territory, that's when it starts to be like we're not really enjoying something, and 5's in the middle.
I mean, I enjoyed the Batman, and I gave that a 6.
That doesn't mean it sucks. And folks, I don't agree with his fucking slanderous view. I never will.
I don't agree.
7, 8. Okay. Anyways, no, I think 6 is pretty fair. It's not weak, but it's not the strongest start to a show. So let's get to episode 2. It's called Self-Tape. So this one is...
Oh, this is when they go to the his buddy's place that took his role, Trevor's role.
This is one of the funniest episodes, and they have the actual Joe Peter Pantanello. If you guys don't know, he was in The Goonies, Bad Boys, and he was Cypher in The Matrix.
Cypher in The Matrix.
The first Matrix.
Okay.
He's the one who portrays him.
Uh-huh.
Where he's like, I know the stake isn't real. I know, it's just my brain telling me, firing on all my synapses, telling me the steak is juicy and thick and real. And then you do, but goddamn, ignorance is bliss. No, this was where I think the show really starts to find its footing. This is an episode where we get a little bit more about Simon's powers. We find out that Slattery was arrested coming back to the U.S. And so,
Right? Did they say why he came back? Other than his story of he wanted to, did he want to make his mom proud or his dad proud?
I believe it was set up in Shang-Chi. He said he was going back home.
I'd have to go back and watch it again. It's been a while.
So, he gets nabbed by by damage control, and they make a deal with him to spy on our boy Simon. Meanwhile,
What the fuck?
meanwhile,
And here I thought they had a genuine connection.
I know. Simon winds up getting past the first audition with Trevor, and he has to send a tape by a certain point. And so this is where we start to get sort of the fun of these episodes. They can't shoot at his house because he doesn't want to show Trevor the big fucking hole. It was the one power scene we saw. He was stressed out and his powers exploded, so there's a big fucking hole in the back of his wall that he put a fucking rug over. And so he's like, I can't fucking film it at my house. So he goes to the tape thing, and the lady's a fucking weirdo. And so he calls Trevor.
You should have read the contract. It says I read all off-screen lines, and I was like, why the fuck is that in the contract?
And so here, this is what we're talking about, people. There's a lot of comedy, but we'll get to the serious stuff because the first 1 or 2 episodes are kind of really comedic. It's where like 3, 4, 5, and 6 where you start to get into, yeah, it's funny, but then there's serious shit. And I think you said it, PB. We were waiting for them to ruin it with a joke. And an amazing thing happens. They don't tell a joke. They let the scene
right, they just
breathe.
Go through the seriousness and then just move on because that's what it was.
Once again, really excited for this director doing Spider-Man. Because Spider-Man, as everybody knows, you have your fun, quirky stuff, but there's a lot of serious shit, and you got to be able to balance it.
He let that one girl fall to her death.
I don't know.
All Spider-Men are real, as long as they're Peter Parker.
So, they go to Joe Pantanello, his house, because they are, him and Slattery are frenemies, I'm going to say. And there's a great scene where they're talking about
all of the little interactions that happen for the transitions in between the scenes. Like something happens and then they're like, okay, we gotta go and do this. And then it doesn't happen every single time, but there's a lot of in the car interactions because they're going someplace.
And here's the thing I want to put out too, especially in this episode. It's very obvious as soon as Trevor, Sir Ben Kingsley, one of the greatest, most celebrated actors. It's obvious that him and Yahya Abdul have great chemistry, but it's because you brought up the car. Those are the moments to me where you see and you just feel like he's working for damage control. But I don't know about you, and I was even saying it to like Bitchy. I was going, I don't want him to betray him. They're so good together. Look, we know as audiences that this can only go one way because this director's great, and he showed us what the obstacle is. We are hoping that Trevor is going to pull a rabbit out of his hat, or he's going to figure out something other than fucking them over. And the more that you see the chemistry and the more they're starting to become friends, we're starting to bond with these two and want them to be bestest buds. Because they have such great fucking presence. And there's some parents, you don't peg it as, oh, that's the duo. But I fucking swear, they better have him somewhere in the Marvel universe, because I don't see how you could do Trevor now without him. They are just like, there has not been a good pairing like this since, I don't know.
Tony Stark and Harvey.
Yeah.
Iron Man 3. Guess who else is in that movie?
Like, this is just such a great, these
They're
actors have such great
connected.
chemistry. Yeah, it feels like a bromance.
Oh,
Speaking
somebody blew me a kiss.
Fuck you, that was for me.
What? Where does it say that?
It's implied.
It's
She's the
implied?
future. She is the future, what do you call, queen. There we go. To the kingdom.
What kingdom?
The one I'm building on Earth. Gosh, you think I've been here all these years? Making my way into the mainstream just because, man, it's all part of the plan.
Tilt the camera slightly up and to the right if you can. And up. That's quite the plan you have. Quite the plan you have, I see.
Nick on this channel.
He watches over us all.
He watches over us all.
Like fucking Dracula.
Okay, so episode 2 basically ends with them going to Simon's apartment, and Slattery gets the device to hack stuff, but he doesn't give them everything. He just, which we'll go into the next episode, but basically he just hacks enough to not really give them anything, but he knows of his, he sees the big fucking hole. He hasn't seen it, and we'll get to that episode yet. But yeah, what did you think of this episode? This one is an 8 for me. I'm just gonna do mine for it. It's an 8 because I really love, especially the scene when Joe Pantanelli says something to Trevor, and it's about acting, and he says that he sees acting as just getting what you can and then getting the hell out. And they get pissed off because Trevor and Simon believe in the craft of acting. And
no, you need to get into real estate.
Into their roles. So, I mean, yeah, so for me, this episode was an 8. What did you think?
I gave it a 7. It was better than the first episode.
Okay. Yeah, well, see, you went I went 2 because of, I think most of the points was Joe Pantanello being there. I did not that was not on my bingo card for
those were some good things.
A Marvel show about acting. So I not gonna lie, that kind of skewed me a little bit higher. So we have the next episode, which is Pacoima.
I've never been to Pacoima either.
Pacoima.
That is one thing I will always remember from this show, is that I've never been to Pacoima either.
I knew of it. I've never been there.
I would go.
So this is.
See, I told you that kiss was for me.
In the shows, there's a turning point. This to me is where you see this is something special. Everything to me about this episode is so fucking fantastic. So this is the episode that I dubbed the cookout episode. And the weirdest thing about this episode is 90% of this is about him going to see his family and Trevor meeting his family, and we're realizing they're kind of assholes. Like in the way
Like
families are
you
assholes.
mean his extended family is? I wouldn't say
Yeah,
his mom is. His mom
no,
is one of those well-intentioned, bad
wonderful
results
people.
style persons.
Yeah, whereas the rest of the family and his brother in particular, and we'll swing back to him because I thought they did that arc fine because that could have been corny and generic, but they really did a great job, and it's because of this episode. His brother sees him as having a loser career. He's berating him about it. Trevor's going, "What the fuck is up with all of these people?" You could see the mom is supportive, and there was a fire. We'll talk about that
No,
later,
man,
but
Trevor's trying to explain to everybody how just doing an audition and getting a call back is a big accomplishment. And he's like, so it's a big accomplishment to not get a job?
here's the actual crazy thing when you really think about what the brother is saying, and this speaks to like how good the writing is. He's not wrong technically. Like
Technically.
if you're not in the system of Hollywood and you don't know how acting works and things like that, it does kind of sound fucking ridiculous. Like when he's laying out his points, and that's what makes writing good because, yeah, if you tell somebody who knows nothing about acting or film or anything, right? And you're like, I got a call back for the job, but I didn't get the job. It's just a call back to interview again.
Yep.
And try to sell them that that's a good thing. And that's the thing I love about the show because thinking about it, like, yeah, it's for an actor, it's like, holy shit. It's kind of like when jobs do those second interviews. You go to the first one, they go, okay, come
Typically,
back.
you don't get a job after the first interview.
Well, when I did security, I had two, and then my background check, because they interviewed me and a bunch of prospective people, and then they called me back, and then they did the background check and everything else. But in Hollywood, this is a common thing. They like whittle you down from like fucking 100 people who want the same role, and then they have like 4 or 5 people that are like candidates for that role. It's really the only you are on the nose. It's the only job where you're looking at 3 or 4 times. You're gonna have to do an interview because you got to interview for the director or who is or you got to interview for like the casting director. Then you got to interview for the director, and then you get the fucking role. What did you think about this? Because I could go on all day how this is fucking fantastic.
We're talking about the scene with him and the family.
Yeah, that's basically this whole episode.
Huge. Yeah, I was hugely entertained. Like,
Now,
I remember saying when I got to the end of episode 2, I was like, "Oh, they're going to his family, and Trevor's going to go with him." I was like, "This is going to be spectacular."
what is your favorite particular part in this?
I mean, for the character building aspect, I guess it would be when Trevor's defending how it's a big accomplishment what they've been able to do. He's like,
then,
your brother, your son, your nephew, because it's all extended family there. Like, he's got a lot of shit going on for him. He's supremely talented. He could do this, and they're essentially like talking down everything.
So, that's pretty much it. The end of it is he was supposed to wear a wire. He wears a wire. He destroys it because he actually does now see his power. Now, here's the thing that I was wondering, and maybe you could illuminate this for me because I'm not sure if I was right, but the family does know about his abilities. They have to, right? And it's because kind of no one speaks about it because his brother
in a later episode, I believe there is soft confirmation that they know about the powers, and then there's the scene where he freaking destroys the counter later on.
Yeah, that was number
Like
3.
they might not understand it, but they know that there's something strange going on at minimum.
Yeah, and obviously the mother, because it's his mother, and I even had a hint the brother, they know that it's definitely tied into his emotions when it. So if you guys don't know, his eyes when he gets emotional, whether it's I'm leaning more towards angry
Yep.
until Trevor teaches him, and we'll get to that episode. But it's more of right now. Whenever he gets overwhelmed, even panicky too, because there was that time when he was on a lot and his eyes turned purple, and it was more just he wasn't angry. It was more he was nervous. So I think his powers are tied into his emotions. Now he's feeling, and then it just kind of flows out. Which I thought was also neat for a power. I don't think we've seen something like that in Marvel. Have you? I don't believe. I think this is the first time we've seen a power that's directly tied, because it was anxiety and anger. Because in
a lot of
Thunderbolts,
powers are
he was just
exacerbated
fucking
by
depressed.
emotion. Like Wanda's powers get amplified by her emotions. At least it
but
seems
she's a
that
woman.
way. I don't know what that means in this context.
I mean, women are just emotional. You can't tell if it's for fucking power or, just, that time.
Right.
If you guys
No,
can't...
don't do that. No, I want to be mysterious.
There's a unicorn menacingly groping me.
Menacingly.
Menacingly. She's groping me. Menacingly. Okay, so we get the cool scene, and I think it's interesting because people who've watched this, Marvel's big thing, I think they were worried about, and I think that most people have highlighted doing reviews, but I'm going to go contrary to them because that's what we do on this channel. Everybody was saying, "Oh, if you're expecting superpowers and big flashy stuff, you're going to be disappointed." I think this show works because people are expecting that, and they're tired of that being the thing that's driving the story.
Well, I mean, if you watched a trailer for it, you wouldn't necessarily be expecting something like that.
Yeah, I think if you go into this, and I want to just highlight this too in my review, this does have superpowers, and they're more highlighted near the end, not as much as you would expect, but there's more of those kinds of scenes. But in my mind, and we'll get to those episodes better done. But this is very much character focused, and I think, and I've seen articles and stuff too. This actually did pretty decent numbers, and I think it's because they did what they did in phase 1. This is very much not just about the superhero beating up this villain, this monster. It is a struggle, and the powers are a metaphor for his struggle, his repression he does of his feelings, his quirks. He's very we forgot to mention too. He
would be a better actor if he would repress his tongue instead of his feelings.
Yeah,
shut up and do the scene, guy.
Yeah, he's very much in his head. He tries to make a character and figure out the
He's
character.
Constantly looking for a deeper meaning inside of the deeper meaning.
Yeah, and it's a reflection of his own insecurities. There was a fire that's never really explained. That's probably my one negative, and we'll get to that when we get to our series overall thoughts.
There was a
fire. And also too, it would appear in flashbacks he was an awkward kid. So a lot of his powers and what they're tied into is his emotions. So
it don't surprise me in the flashbacks that he's an awkward kid because he's an awkward adult.
Oh yeah, and that's one of my favorite parts was, and it's in this episode where the mother was like, "You're his first friend, and I think you're good for him because he's never brought anybody with him to a family event." And
I remember that.
And that, I don't know about you, that hit me right in the feels. And kudos to the actress who plays the mother, because she's such a fucking sweet old lady. Like, she's she's what you picture, that's just a super nice, sweet mom. She knows her son is awkward. She knows he has superpowers. And she doesn't care. She wants him to do good in life, and she wants him to accept these things about himself. And she even backed off when he didn't make a lot of friends. And we'll talk about the girlfriend later because that comes back up in the last episode. But he has this thing of pushing people away because of being awkward. And yeah, some of it's about the superhero powers, but a lot of it's just about him. And in general, him letting people into his life, which is like everybody. That's what really gets me about the show. Like, everything about it is so human. Fuck, I sound like one of those pretentious reviewers. Thank you, Cammy. You fucking infected me with your emotional weight. But really, God help me, I'm gonna use the word. The emotional weight
Oh shit!
is what carries this movie, and this has a lot of it.
It's not a movie
or show. God damn, it feels like it. Okay. So this episode, what do you give it? I gave it an 8.
I also gave it an 8.
Yes. Fucking fantastic. Loved it. And now we're getting into, and I'm just gonna say this right now, the 9 episode Doorman. This is an episode that's been, if you guys know nothing about the series, it's been highlighted by several reviewers. This is a fucking fantastic episode, and I've been jabbering on. I need to catch my breath and drink. PB, tell us.
I didn't know what was going to happen in this episode from the name of the title. But right before this, like in episode 3, I was like, "Fucking A, I want to know what in the fuck happened." So that this is a law, because like, who the fuck came up with this? Why? And then boom, this episode played, and I was like, "Son of a bitch, you set that up perfectly."
So
and this so this was the moment where I told you that something is going to happen to someone and that I didn't think that you liked and you'd appreciate it. Was I correct?
Oh, I fucking loved this. This was fantastic.
Are you or are you not a fan of Josh Gad?
Oh yeah. Yes.
Oh, you
I am a fan of Josh Gad. Here's a funny thing.
I thought you were anti Josh Gad. My bad.
No. I don't like him in Frozen, but I will tell you why I'm a fan of Josh Gad. Most people won't know. And this was with my ex. I went to see the Book of Mormon, and Josh Gad is in that play. I saw it when he was on the tour for it. Fucking fantastic. Sidebar, if you guys haven't seen the Book of Mormon, fucking hilarious. They make fun of the Mormon religion, but it's also a critique on religion in general. And I think that the points they bring up, it's a very satirical look on organized religion. Check it out. But I saw him in that performance of the Book of Mormon. And I'm not the hugest fan of Frozen. If you've been on this channel, I fucking hate it because it's just been overplayed. And when I was a martial arts instructor, like some of the top movies, that was one of them. I fucking.
You know what you need to do with your hate?
Huh?
You know what you need to do with your hate?
What?
Let it go.
Fuck you. But Josh Gad actually was great in this role. And I want to give a shout out to the person who plays the character of Damar Davis, who is the doorman. So a majority of this episode is shot in black and white. It goes to color near the end of the episode, but this is just, they're going to be pretentious again, but this is cinema. Fucking.
Well, yeah, isn't it a movie? They were also making a movie.
Yeah. The movie they made was Cash Grab, and then which is hilarious if you guys get the dual meaning, which I also
Nobody
found.
in the chat gets it because there's nobody in the chat.
That's all right. I'm counting on the replays. But anyways, so they're doing this movie Cash Grab. Great stuff. And then this is great because you see the rise and the fall, and we cover this on Late Night Talks. We got to bring Late Night Talks back, but we talk about these famous people and the crazy shit they do or the bad mistakes they make. I think he does something when he endorses a product and the people get burned. That potato thing. And he's like, I didn't realize that they got burned. And he's on the fucking phone to his followers. Like, there's so many.
Fuck, why don't I remember that either?
When they have him promoting like this, like first a cleaning product when he's like, it's gone just like me, and he had the catchphrase knock knock. And they show how some people get like put into these boxes and how you can rise and fall. And he goes to do the sequel, Cash Grab 2. And when he does that, his buddy, who basically took him from a doorman into a celebrity, he goes to pass through him, but he disappears into him because I'm thinking now, this is where I need to ask you. I put together it was because he was drinking and stuff. He couldn't focus on his ability because then he like vomits after.
Oh, okay.
Or also too, maybe his powers were taking a toll on him as well because he was saying how, and when you look,
I feel like they leave it ambiguous on purpose.
Yeah, but it's like the drinking and maybe his powers are too much for him, but his buddy goes to pass through him, he disappears, and then
I mean, it's weird if you're using, I don't even know what the word for it is, so I'm going to say spectral powers. So, like, when his powers stop working, like, mid-fucking use, what happens? I don't fucking know. Nobody fucking knows because it's fucking, like, extra-dimensional bullshit. Whereas, like, when Spider-Man's powers stop working, he falls off the wall.
Yeah, so
it's pretty straightforward.
And you kind of see it from damage control perspective with these powers that are unknown. They're pretty fucking powerful, and kind of the consequence. Like this one just hurt the dude who disappeared, and who knows, he might still be alive. What happened to Gat? Hashtag what happened to Gat?
Mystery. I'm okay with it being a mystery.
And so we have and they mentioned this a couple of times, the infamous doorman clause, which is that no actor would or no superpowered person
no
superpowered
person can act
because and also too, this is an actual thing in the comics as well. So
whoa, a comic book show based off something that's in the comics?
Yeah, crazy. Wow. I know they're doing all sorts of transcendent shit in the show.
Is there anything else in this show that happens in the comics?
A couple of things. His powers.
Of course there is. It's a fucking comic book show.
So,
but nobody gives a shit about that because the show is great.
So, the last scene we see, I believe he's on like a show like ER, and this whole thing comes out, and it comes out right as he has this part, and everybody's like seeing it on the phone. And damage control took this guy and he fucking disappeared. Who knows? Probably in fucking Alcatraz until that new place got built. So what did you think of this episode? I was just gonna say 9 for me. Fucking 9. I love it. I wouldn't say this was my favorite because we'll get to my favorite, but this is like my second favorite episode of the season.
That's possible. I mean, it had a great mixture of serious with the comedy sprinkled in. That's what was good in that episode. Like, there are other episodes that have substantially more comedy on top of the seriousness, or in
Which
between.
we'll get to that one. So, what are you giving it?
I thought I said 8. Did I not say 8?
Oh, okay, 8. So yeah, you gave it an 8. I was a 9. Mine are gonna wildly differ because we'll get to the next episode, which is found footage, episode 5. This is one where Slattery takes Simon out to celebrate. He's trying to get him calm. This is where he first gives him the breathing technique. He picks up a coaster and says, "Picture your breathing as square," and
I'm
has
not gonna lie. I
breathe
love
out.
this episode with the way that we don't get to go directly to the source. They have to go from one to the next to the next to the next because of some random shit that happened, which I thought it was great fun.
Okay, this episode I'm not so high on, but I'll give you my high points. So they're at a restaurant, they're celebrating, and now that Trevor is back, there are people. Apparently, he fell off, got into drugs. We'll get into later, but it's implied he might have been on drugs when he got the gig for the Mandarin. And so these drug dealers go looking for him. We see more of Simon's powers where he incapacitates them, basically beating the shit out of them. But he is taped by someone with a GoPro. So they track him down. And the kid's name is Jaden. They find him in a bar. He wants him to go to a guy's house named Esteban.
Well, no, he beat up. Why did he beat these guys up? What were they doing in the alleyway?
Oh, Slattery owed them money for drugs.
Okay, from a long time ago. Okay.
Yeah. So they were pissed, and so he took care of them, but Jaden had a GoPro and he was on a bike. However, Jaden doesn't want to out his secret. He has a problem. He had his what was I would say it was like a motorcycle or something. It was something like that was stolen by this guy named Esteban, who were made to believe is a drug dealer. And so they decide
they're totally cooking when he gets there.
They're cooking, and we're gonna get to that. So they go to Esteban's, and they're getting ready to do their thing. Esteban recognizes Trevor as the fucking Mandarin and talks about how great he is, all this other stuff. And so, hilariously, Trevor doesn't want to do this favor for Jaden. He thinks he's full of shit. And funny, ironically enough, he was full of shit. Esteban, who is portrayed, it was a motorcycle. He's portrayed as the drug dealer. He's not actually cooking drugs. He's cooking, what the fuck were they? Not cookies, but
they're making like gummy candies.
Yeah, gummy candy that tastes like different stuff. And so Jaden and him were best friends. And the great part about this episode is it's foreshadowing. Yes, I know, weird in a Marvel show. They're best friends. And Jaden actually betrayed Esteban.
What a
Sound familiar? And he's the untrustworthy person. He was the one. They got into fights about stuff all the time, and he decided to try to take his business, and he was going to use these guys to take his business. And then in a hilarious twist, the actual drug dealers from the alleys come to the door looking for fucking Trevor and Simon. Yep, there they are. I would definitely try those. Those look delicious. So the actual drug dealers come and they hold Jaden hostage. Trevor, in a funny, hilarious way, is like, "Go ahead and shoot him. We didn't fucking care. We didn't trust him anyways."
Right?
Which is just great because in a superhero show, like the cliche thing you're expecting is, no, we gotta save them both. Trevor's like, nah, he's the liar. Whatever happens to him. We gotta get out of here. The police come. They get the house surrounded. And the drug dealers are trying to play it off. Jaden escapes. Esteban's like, oh shit, we gotta go, blah, blah, blah. They pull Jaden into the house, and Jaden and Esteban like patch shit up. And then, in the most hilarious thing, in the background, you hear, freeze, put the gun down. And he's like, don't raise the gun. And then you just hear fucking shots, which we assume the police officer just fucking murdered all the drug dealers. And they're running out the back. And meanwhile, while this is going on, Simon gets a call saying that Trevor and him have to go to this audition that's happening right now. But as she's talking to him, you hear the fucking police going, sir, drop the gun. I said drop it. And he's like, I can't talk right now. We gotta go.
We'll see you later.
I love you.
Bye.
And so that's the humor we're talking about here, which is actually funny. So while she's trying to talk, he fucking hangs up on her, and then finally they fucking beeline it, get into the car, and they find out, because she says they have to book it to the mansion of
Kovac.
Kovac, his house, because he moved the day up. They were supposed to be there after the events of today, but the director decided to move the day up, so they gotta now beeline it, and that's kind of where we leave the episode. This one's fun. I really liked it, but I'm just gonna say I still have this at 7 because I was getting into the emotional stuff, and like, this is great. I laughed at everything else. I don't know. It just kind of felt like a wacky adventure in between. So I'm gonna go use the restroom, and you kind of tell me.
I gave it an 8. I gave it an 8 because I love the wackiness. I thought the wackiness was maybe not necessarily needed from all the seriousness that had happened, but to have episodes that aren't just identical, where you're hitting all of the exact same beats. So, you know, some of it is uplifting, some of it is emotionally taxing, and some of it's fucking hilarious. And to be able to spread that over different episodes instead of just having to take moments in each one where you
all right, sorry about that.
Fit them all together. I like that they can focus on different aspects as a whole and sprinkle the other ones in here and there.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think that this is weaved better than a lot of shows we watch. It's just, for me, it kind of felt weird in the pace, in the cadence of the episodes, like coming off of such an amazing episode with Doorman. This one kind of felt a little bit of the odd one out, and from here on out,
it felt fast because a lot of the episodes take place over the course of at least most of a day. This one takes place, if I remember correctly, just over a couple of hours. Like, all of it is happening between here and here, and that was it.
Yeah, and I think that's my biggest issue with just this episode. And I mean, still a 7, still enjoyable. I'm definitely gonna rewatch it, and I'm still gonna go through it. Just kind of like, out of all the episodes, this to me just felt like the odd man out. But not in a bad way. It just kind of like it felt like that thing where you have that really heavy episode. Because let's be real, Doorman is kind of fucking depressing. Like, that whole episode is very depressing. And so, like, it's got its humor, and that's the thing we were saying about them leaving the heavy thing. That ends fucking depressing, man. Like, Doorman disappears and he's never heard from again. Like, and it leaves you on that down note, with, even when they switched color, Simon getting that notification of the Doorman. So I think you do need an episode like with a wacky adventure. It just kind of felt a little odd. You know what I mean?
I do. I understand where you're coming from.
So number 6 is called Callback. This is the episode where we get to Kovic's mansion. This is
We meet all of the potential Wonder Man and fuck, what's the sidekick's name?
Barnaby.
Barnaby. I was thinking Barbarian. I was like, it's not, that ain't right.
And this episode's super simple, not really a lot to recap here. It's just an audition, and
It definitely gets into psychology of acting more so than a lot of things that I've ever seen in my life.
Yes, this is Simon is in his head as he always does. He's told to do this scene, but he does a scene from Pretty Woman instead, rather than
Fucking
experience his
hilarious.
own emotions. And the other actors are pretty hilarious. They're all pompous. You see Trevor's very comfortable in this situation, obviously, because he's probably done fucking thousands of these. So he's joking around with everyone. And we really get a good insight into Simon because you see him kind of off in the corner. He's not really talking to anyone. When he's working with his scene partner, you don't feel the chemistry. He has the daydream that he punches his fist through that guy's face. That was a pretty fucking cool scene. And he still has this fear about his powers being outed, but then Trevor explains to him that he's more than his powers, and that, you know, in order to control it, he's got to convey his emotions while he's acting. So him and Simon act together, and they impress Kovac, and they get picked as the two scene partners. Meanwhile, Damage Control comes back. They're ready to take
They're getting a little frustrated at this point.
Yeah, they're frustrated. They're ready to take Trevor in. They're like, fuck it. We'll just take you back. And this is where my heart dropped, because it ends with him saying, I have indeed seen his powers. I can confirm he has powers.
Ooh, this was the episode that we freaking got to see his audition for the Mandarin.
Oh yeah, and this was this was why this was also a highlight. We start off seeing his background and how he created the Mandarin persona and him changing his voice and things like that. This episode's a 9 for me. I love it. I love the psychology that you see the actors get into, and I also like all the background stuff, and it's because I'm a Trevor whore. The background stuff with Trevor is just fantastic.
Okay, what was before I give my number? What was your immediate thought when he punched through that guy's head?
Holy fuck!
My initial thought, like, it happened so fucking fast, and then you can see what's going on, and I was like, "Why is his head made of sand?" That was all I could think, and I was like, "Are we revealing something else about this character?"
No, I think it's because they explain he affects the molecules as part of his
Shouldn't
power.
turn him into sand, though. That's like some Sandman shit.
No, I think it was just deconstructing him, but that I'm giving them a benefit. It could just be a special effects thing. You know, you always focus on the weird shit.
You know, and I wonder if you go back and watch if there are any clues from when that scene starts. You don't have any inkling that he's asleep.
That's the also great thing about this too,
I don't
man.
know if there is a clue.
There isn't,
and it just happens, and you're like, "Holy fucking shit!" You're
yeah,
like,
I thought like, oh, he did get outed.
I mean, for a half second, like after I was like, "Why the fuck is it sand?" And then I was like, "He's gonna have to kill everybody in this fucking room."
And that's where I thought I was going to. I was thinking,
I was like, "Holy shit, we've made quite a turn here."
Yeah, they were. The show does so well with its serious moments that I had the same thought. I'm like, oh my god, he's gonna have to like murder everybody because this dude just saw that. Like, there's no way he can leave witnesses. And I was like, so yeah. Now, you know what? You fucking talked me into it. I'm gonna say 10. Now that we're talking about it, I'm gonna give this one a 10. I got another 10 here too, but this episode in particular, and I'm giving it a 10 because I was trying to think of what I thought was a weak point in this episode, and honestly, I got it.
I can't. You may have been able to talk me into it at the time, at least increasing my score, but going with what it offers me and what you are offered for the last 2 episodes, I'm still only giving it an 8.
See, I'm gonna go with 10 because of.
So you're just gonna end the series with 3 10s in a row?
Fuck. Well, I already know what I'm giving the series as a total. Yeah, if I feel that it's the number that pops into my head, because it's and you'll hear my next number. They're not all 10s. But this one is a 10 the more I think about it, because it's a peek behind the curtain. Now that you talk about it, that transition from reality to dream is perfect, because when a dream sequence works, it works because we don't realize we're in a dream until you get that like thing. And what's brilliant about the scene is, even then, you still don't know it's a dream. It's shot so fucking well until you see him like in the chair. 10. Like just that scene alone is beautiful, but seeing Trevor's stuff and seeing how he created the Mandarin, the director, and being such a fucking nut job, and we know a lot of Hollywood actors or directors are like that, but at the same time, there's this weird thing where he also might be a brilliant genius, and that's how these directors are, because everything he says is actually good advice. It's just getting that peek into the art of acting. Fucking 10. 10. I loved it.
I can see that. I guess
But
you were much more whelmed by it than I was.
I was much more overwhelmed. But we'll get to the next episode, 7. Kathy Friedman. This one is one.
Friedman?
This one is one I'm not too high on. This is a journalist from the Times is coming to talk to Simon.
Oh yeah.
I like the end of this, but this is the episode that I'm going to be a little bit down on. I thought it was a little bit boring. But this is Simon. You see him and Trevor are talking to people on the crew, and they have this normal thing coming on. They find out this journalist is coming to do an expose, and every expose that this journalist has done, she has found something to character assassinate the person on. So they have a fun thing about Jason Gordon-Levitt and killing fucking birds. I looked it up. I don't know if it's a thing, but I want to think it's the thing.
Okay.
And she just explores these different parts. I like the plot twist. You find out that when she does the interview, she had already interviewed his ex, so he goes to the ex-girlfriend. You find out she didn't say anything, but that's where we get it, that she loved him, she knew about his powers, and he just, couldn't let her in. So they part on good terms, and then the brother actually said something real nice about him, and that he believed in him, which he needed to hear. And then we find out who's actually being character assassinated, and it is he's going after Trevor. And
yeah, because if you're not going to do the job, then we can just fill the cell with you.
And this is where we get the betrayal. It's probably why this is lower for me. This was the point where I was fucking pissed, but yet going and Bitchy was laughing because I'm like, no, you can't do this. This is where he tells him that he has been working. Fuck, you're right. I might go all these. This is great fucking acting. the real highlight here is Yaya. He is crying, but not. He's got those angry tears. And he finds out, Trevor just lays it on the line, like, I had no choice. And the great part about this is you do understand from both perspectives. Like, he is going to go to a fucking hole and be locked up. And
No, it's above ground.
yeah, and so
At least part of it.
this Simon is upset, he's overwhelmed, and his energy explodes outward, and the explosion destroys the sound set. And
Does it fucking ever? Like, holy fuck.
so yeah, no, I'm still gonna go.
It like
I'm gonna
almost
go
it feels like
9.5.
some of the stuff got like vaporized or incinerated or something.
Oh yeah, there were, and it's
Like
funny.
some stuff was like
You
the
can see
very
the
edges
crater
were
where he
fucking
was standing.
right.
There's like a circle where he was standing, where his energy expanded.
So it's like, what is the energy made of? What kind of energy?
I don't know. It was fucking awesome, but no, I'm not gonna go 10 because the beginning of this episode wasn't where I felt it. It was the end, and Ben Kingsley and Yaya's acting that really hooked me in. But I kind of wasn't too crazy. The media stuff doesn't. That's kind of a sore subject for me because I've been talking shit about the media. I appreciate it, but I found it kind of fucking boring and like, yeah, that's what it is. In New York Times, they're pieces of shit. And I do like they're portrayed that way. But this is where I kind of felt, yeah, I'm gonna settle on a 9.5. I'm not gonna go full 10. Mostly 9.5 because of the acting at the end. But I can't go full 10 because the beginning of this was kind of just okay. What about you?
Okay, I would give it a 9.
Yeah. The 0.5 was because of Ben Kingsley and
Pretty
yeah.
fucking great.
Yeah, their acting, like I'm close, but then I'm like, I can't do it because the
Well, and
beginning
they
part.
didn't fall victim to having a slow penultimate episode. Like,
No,
so
that fucking ending's a banger.
there were things that were resolved in the episode while still setting up the finale. Like the finale essentially gets set up with what happens in the moment when he explodes the soundstage.
Now, this is the 10, and this is called Yakuka Valley.
Yucca?
Huh?
Yucca?
Yucca Valley.
Yeah. Yucca
This is
retard?
episode 8, the final. First off, 10. But let's talk about this. So many fucking mind-blowing good stuff. I was laughing. I was crying. We find out that they're coming for him. And they do... Dude, the shots in this show and the way that they frame stuff, they do this dual thing where now Damage Control knows about what's going on, and they're sending somebody. Presumably, they're sending people after our boy Simon. They know he's Wonder Man. The jig is up. But no, right as they do the dual things, you see the police coming in. There's a message.
Dude,
and who's
what
the
the
message
fuck?
from?
You didn't tell me that Captain America and Wonder Man made out in an episode of Black Mirror.
I try to pretend that never happened.
Okay, then. Why?
But yeah, so PB, what was the great scene that we got?
Wait, what do you mean?
So the episode, we see a dual scene. The police are coming.
Oh, that they actually go to arrest Trevor instead of Simon?
Yes, but why do they arrest Trevor instead of Simon?
Oh, because Trevor takes responsibility for blowing up the frickin' soundstage as the Mandarin. and they never saw him coming.
He decides to broadcast about the American system and how actors are part of the machine, and he has burned the machine to the ground, and they never saw him coming.
Bingo. That's spectacular. So sad.
And he calls up Simon, and I'm tearing up just fucking talking about it right now.
You don't do that, lady.
He calls him up and he tells him about how he's going to take responsibility. It was his fault, and for once, even with the Mandarin, and we'll get to the themes and stuff when we do a whole series. But both these characters have been on a journey. One, to be confident in themselves, to gain hold of their power and be in control of it, and not let the power be in control of them. Also a metaphor. And we get another touching scene of why they went to see Wonder Man. He was being bullied in school, and his father took him out of school, said he sounded like he had a cough, and he was like,
sounds like you could use a day off, son.
And he takes him to the theater, and once again, this got me. And that's where he first ever saw Wonder Man. And his dad encouraged him and told him he thinks he has something special, that he could be an actor, not just saying that as a father, but he really thinks he has something he can offer the world. And then so Trevor calls him up and he says, "Don't worry about it. It's all going to be over." And the fucking people at Damage Control know he's full of shit. But what I liked that they justified them not still going after him, was that getting him was considered a win. They got the fucking Mandarin. So
the whole point of this guy's freaking journey is that he's literally just trying to fill up this prison in order so that he can keep his job.
Which was great.
Even
the Damage Control arc.
Even though Wonder Man must be like an unregistered one, like he didn't sign up for the Sokovia Accords.
Yeah, and it's hinted there's a lot of them, and the most dangerous ones are the ones that they're interested in, and his power is pretty fucking dangerous. But he's able to use Trevor because to everybody, like, except for probably Tony Stark, but most other people don't know, he's just a fucking actor. The funniest thing is too, they send the guy comes to get Simon, and they said he's got to work through how he's feeling, and he's the only one who knows that he didn't blow up the soundstage, but he uses it, and I guess makes a fucking amazing movie. They get Joe Pantanello to replace fucking Simon, which was fucking hilarious.
Took another fucking role from him.
Which, in all actuality, even in both situations, he really didn't steal the role, because we find out later that Trevor was doing hookers and had blow, and that's why, and then told him in a coked out coke fuel thing to take the role because he wasn't in his right state of mind.
Hey man, nobody remembers the 80s clearly. It was snowing a lot that decade.
But this time he actually got the role. Was given to him because of obviously Trevor being locked up, and we have the big premiere, and Eric, his brother, tells him he's proud of him. The mother loves him, and she's doing the thing where she's like, "That's my son," blah blah blah, and it's super sweet. And then the last couple of minutes, this is what really, you know what? I'd go 11 on this episode.
The ending of this episode is spectacular in the way that it's written, because I figured it out before they were driving there, but I didn't have. As soon as it starts, you could technically have figured it out. Like, you can know right away.
I didn't figure out that that's what he was doing until they drove to the facility. But
yeah, I was just before that.
Yeah, I was right when they get into it. I'm like, because I thought it was a chemical company or something. Like, oh, Trevor's gone, and now he's dedicating his life to exposing these like actual things to like honor his friend. No, he tells this guy because they end it after this big premiere, and you're like, what are you gonna do next? And our hard cuts, and we see him following this guy, and you think, oh, his next role, he's doing a documentary on this guy, and he's gonna play the guy, and he's taking notes and everything. He's living with the guy's family, and he's been asking about his job.
We can admit this is weird.
So yeah, and even everybody's saying it's weird, but it makes sense in this age, you know. Actors do this when they're taking roles of real life people. It isn't an uncommon thing. They go and they have several talks.
You know where actors take most of their roles?
Yeah. Joaquin Phoenix when he was.
Wow.
Joaquin Phoenix when he was
delicious roles, man.
Joaquin Phoenix when he was portraying Johnny Cash. He did actually live with Johnny Cash and studied his mannerisms and everything. So it wasn't weird to me that he was doing this. I was like, oh, he's making he's
well,
going.
If he would have been a real actor, he would have fell into a burning ring of fire.
And went down, down, down. But no, we are made to believe he's doing another role. And remember, this still tracks because him and Simon talk about being serious actors, getting back to their roots, things like that. So you're like, oh, he's getting.
Simon's a black man. You can't say roots.
He's getting back to who he used to be and all this stuff. But no, we find out that the person he's been shadowing actually works at the prison with all of the superpowered people, and that Trevor's being held, and that he is actually concoct this whole scheme to break out his buddy. And
it's fucking amazing.
And he fucking rips the door open. They start like talking to each other. He's like, how are we gonna get out? And
we'll never make it through the front door.
He's like, we're not taking the front. Okay, so this was only ruined for me because Bitchy was watching this with me. Fuck it, Bitchy. She goes, oh yeah, that's all great, but like, he doesn't have any goggles or anything. His face would be ripped off there if they're flying that fast. And they went through the ceiling, so like, he'd probably die going through this. And I'm like,
no, he's the Mandarin.
I'm like, the energy is fucking stop killing my childhood fun. Like, okay, like it doesn't.
I mean, you don't see what happens. For all we know, he could have busted the ceiling out, came back and grabbed him, and then jumped out of there or flew out of there or whatever he did.
Yeah, her whole big takeaway was she felt he should have got him goggles because there would be bugs in his eye and stuff, and that the speed they were going would like peel his face back. She said, I was like, that's not the point.
How? At what speed do you think they were traveling?
I mean, they did because he did the whole. So they got to be going at Mach something.
Mach something?
They have to be. Because you gotta imagine a base like that would be sending helicopters and shit like that. I want to say it's like a Superman thing.
Helicopters max out at under 200 miles per hour.
I would definitely say they were going faster than that.
Okay, well, helicopters max out at 200. It's actually less than 200. I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah, it was definitely. I would say it was fighter jet speed that they were fucking.
Well, fighter jet speed with the afterburners going is like 2,000 miles an hour.
I mean, I don't know. We'd have to get. I mean, that isn't the point. The point is.
And also, if you're moving that fast and you do the Superman and you stick your one arm up in the air, the pressure wave that your hand is going to create is going to deflect so much air because you're moving so fast that he's just going to be in the void and he would be fine.
I mean, I was thinking of it like he took the purple energy that's all around him and just used it to...
Made a force field?
Yeah, a force field so that he would be fine when he went up. But look, fuck the logistics. It was fucking beautiful. We find
Never
out...
fuck the logistics. That's how things happen.
We find out the whole show is just basically about two best friends trying to make it. And, I'd like to think Trevor and Simon are chilling on a fucking tropical island talking about
With them Wonder Man royalties.
collecting them more under. He's on the island with Tupac.
Okay, that's
collecting the royalties.
Tupac is old.
But yeah, this episode's 11. What would you give it? What would you give it?
I mean, nothing's perfect. I give it a 9.5.
10. I have no. I don't see where the flaw is. I don't know what you would consider a flaw. I cannot, for the life of me.
You just told me what the flaws were. No bug goggles.
Okay. Fuck you. I'm still doing it. It's perfect 10. This is as perfect as you get.
The show literally, and I don't know how you would do it again, because you wouldn't want to go back to starting at having like just okay episodes at the beginning. The show literally gets better the whole way through.
Yes, it gets better and better.
It draws you in the farther that you go.
So, yeah, let's.
I also believe it is also a show that you can watch this show and literally watch nothing else in the MCU ever in your entire life, and you will still enjoy it.
Yeah. If you understand Trevor and his journey, it
helps.
It helps and it enriches. But if you just go into this because they give you enough background into what he did, yes, they still give you enough background. Honestly, this is what I hoped Marvel shows on Disney Plus would be. It's self-contained. It doesn't lead into anything bigger. You don't need to do homework, and it stands on its own, and it's still great, and it gives you everything that you want. So, let's do a whole rating, and then we'll do some talking about some things and wrap this shit up. So, what's your rating for the series as a whole?
The series as a whole, the bigger episodes definitely outweigh the smaller episodes, so I would give the entire show a 9.
Yes, I am at a 9 myself.
I'm not sure exactly what I would do other than what I explained earlier, like being able to just trim a little bits to make it feel like it's moving faster along. I don't know what else I would do with them first couple episodes to make them as engaging as they are at the end, because it's like you care at the end more because of the journey that you've seen the characters go on together.
And I feel like
at the beginning when they're just meeting, like, I like Trevor Slattery. That's probably the number one reason why I watched the show. But now I also like Simon.
And here's the thing I really am hoping that he does actually come back. And I feel like now that they've done this show, these two characters are directly tied together forever. So I would love to have...
You think so? I mean, it'll be interesting to see, because they just essentially disappeared. Like, they could literally pop up in any other individual... What do I want to say? What's the word I'm looking for? Any individual project, whether it's a movie or a TV show, at any point. Because we don't know where they are.
Yeah, and I think that, for me, this is a really great start to this new phase, slate of movies, redo, whatever you want to say. I think this was a really great start, and I think that it was showing, because we're going to get the action-packed balls out with Daredevil season 2, which I am super fucking stoked by. I think that's where you're going to get the action-packed, people getting beat up, and not world-ending stakes. It's just...
I feel like that's going to upset some original people that want it to be more of a courtroom drama show, where he occasionally beats people up.
Well, those people are always...
Is Frank going to be in the show? Is Frank going to be in the show, or is he going to be busy with Spider-Man?
Actually, he's got his own show coming out.
What's it
It's
called?
a short.
Punisher?
Yeah, it's not going to be a show. It's going to be like one of those movies like The Guardians Christmas, but longer.
Excellent.
That kind of a deal. And then he's going to be in
So
Spider-Man.
we'll have
So,
Kevin Bacon.
well, I wish. I don't think so.
Well, I mean, you can either have Kevin Bacon or you can have Kevin Bacon as a Nazi.
I'll
He
take
was a
Kevin
Nazi.
Bacon as a Nazi.
He was a Nazi in X-Men.
No, but I think that this was a great show to prove that they are actually focusing on characters as well. That we can get back to doing.
This is the first big project that came out since Kevin said he was refocusing, is it not?
Mm-hmm. And a fucking knockout for me.
Because what was the last project that came out? Was the last one? Did a show come out last fall? Why do I feel like one came out and I can't remember it?
Marvel Zombies.
I wouldn't call that a big time show.
Eyes of Wakanda.
I don't think those are big time productions compared to their live action stuff.
Dude, that some of the animated shit is far
the
more
last
expensive.
live action thing would have been Fantastic Four.
Yeah, and well, everybody knows.
Last year did not go well for them at the box office for how much they invested.
And I'm gonna be honest, I like Fantastic Four more than Superman until the ending.
Which ending?
For
what is the moment that ruins it for you?
Galactus being beaten by a fucking portal from Sue.
What do you mean by beaten?
You know, the whole I'm gonna hit
like
him
which
in.
part?
No,
like he's dumb enough to actually walk into the trap?
Yeah, that whole thing was fucking stupid. That it was just another giant, and they painted themselves into a corner because it's fucking Galactus. So they have to do something that'll get him in, that'll make sense. It just fell for me into the same Marvel bullshit, and it pissed me off because the movie was so close. It felt like they were right on the cusp, but that fucking ending ruined it. Kind of like what Superman did for me, and its ending. And I'm saying this as I'm doing this equally for both of them. That's what pisses me off about both movies. Both of them have atrocious endings, and there's stuff within the movie that just don't work for me. Because I was digging the moment they both have the just throwing us in. I think that Fantastic Four did that better. Did the montage and throwing you in good. It was just that fucking ending threw the whole thing off, where Superman, it was everything other than the battles. Like that I've watched it several times. The Mr. Terrific, see, that's my favorite scene, and it's not a Superman scene. And the thing with the Justice Gang, where he does the middle finger, the green middle finger.
Yep.
Like
no, it's the better parts of the movie don't involve Superman, and it was a Superman movie.
Oh man, it's baffling. But then you go over to Fantastic Four. Fantastic Four, kind of like the prototype for this show. There are some serious moments in that movie that they don't tell a joke. They actually let the scene breathe. Like you get Reed Richards and he's nervous to be a father. I fucking get it. Like I was there, and then I don't know what it is, man. Galactus looked cool, he sounded great, whatever, but the battle just ruins that whole fucking movie for me. It just tanks everything. And I'm sorry, I don't like her as Silver Surfer. I think she's fucking terrible because I know the actress
it's just
Ruth Langmore. I love her. Better in Weapons. I'm sorry. She is fucking terribly cast as Silver Surfer. Granted, you can't really understand her until they like do the whole, decrypting her voice or whatever.
Shalabal was the mother.
And
she saved her child by murdering trillions.
Yeah, her plot is just generic. It's whatever. Same fucking Saw backstory. They really waste a great actress because you don't see her range. And the sad part is she got a lot of hate
What's the
for
other
it.
Silver Surfer's name? Now I can't think of it.
Yeah, much better. But
Lauren Rad.
like I think it would like she was just not very well cast for that, and you could tell when you see a movie like Weapons or you watch Ozarks or anything. Like she's got range, but that was just terribly written. Like the whole ending of Fantastic Four is just a shit show for me, and that's what ruins it. But I still place it higher than Superman because Superman. I don't know when it was. I think it was the kiss with Lois Lane that where I knew I was not enjoying myself because there's supposed to be this serious moment. They're going into the air. I'm feeling the vibes, and then you got the stupid fucking fight in the background and that fucking dog. And we both love dogs here on the channel. John Wick is my favorite franchise. He fucking made it killing people who killed his dog. I'm a dog lover. But that little fucking cunt was a fucking menace. And I hated that fucking dog. And I hope Supergirl punched that fucking dog into space. Crypto can suck a dick. Worst fucking inclusion ever in a movie. I fucking hate the dog. It was annoying. It ruined stuff. We almost got the perfect fucking Lex Luthor monologue. And then here comes Crypto to fucking ruin the whole thing. He was going on his evil tangent, and then the dog just takes him and fucking slams him into the thing. It's just like, and I get what the joke is, but it's just, and funny, Fantastic Four had less of that, but still, big CGI. We gotta have that, and it's just fucking, yeah. But not Wonder Man. Wonder Man stuck the landing, so I'm hopeful.
I don't know how much CGI they actually had to use in Wonder Man. It seemed like it was.
Dude, could not have been that much. Could not have been that much. They definitely probably saved a mint on this budget.
I mean, they're driving around in a shitty car too, so.
So yeah, I mean, but folks, the highlights here. Wonder Man is a surprisingly
this might be the best MCU show.
I mean, the only one I'd probably run it next to would be Loki. And that's,
I mean, when I was talking to you, I said I might put it in the Andor category, in the sense that Andor is clearly better than every single other thing that Disney Star Wars has made. And I believe that Wonder Man quite clearly might be the best TV show. Because it's not better than Deadpool and Wolverine. Disney Star Wars made that. Or Disney Marvel made that.
See,
it's not better than Infinity War. Disney.
No, not better than Infinity War, but I would argue Deadpool and Wolverine. Deadpool and Wolverine is great, but in the nostalgia, Ryan Reynolds doing it, it's a different kind of good. If we're talking acting and characters, I think Wonder Man takes it. Deadpool and Wolverine is simple. You know what you're getting. But then again, you do have that emotional moment with Wolverine. I don't know. I kind of place them on the same tier, to be quite honest with you. If we're talking like two great things to come out, right, from this new phase that we can agree on. Wonder Man, Deadpool, and Wolverine. I think we talked about this the other day. They're probably the only two projects that stand firmly out and you get a taste of that Marvel magic that they had.
Do you know what else could stand firmly out?
What?
A movie palette from moviepalette.com.
Oh, geez. But, PB, however would you get a movie palette and save money on it?
Well, if I wanted to save some money, I would just put in the product, or what do I want to say, not product, the, now I'm ruining this because I can't think of the word.
Promo code?
Promo code. I knew it started with a friggin' P for my favorite YouTuber, General Zod. Code Zone 15. And
And
then
save
you say
15%.
15% courtesy of the Fandom Zone. And you
And-
help support your favorite creator.
And thank you to moviepalette.com, and thank you to Marvel Disney.
Is it
for
not next to
making
Nick
it-
Cage?
Well, no, Nick is over here, and then the movie palette is.
Oh, yeah, it's up in the corner. You got to tilt up more.
Oh,
There it is. Now, and
Next
if
to-
anybody knows anything, they know that that's National Treasure too.
and also that's our Nick Cage shine.
It was really easier to turn the computer all the way around the room than just turn it a little more to look up in the corner. That's wild.
Yeah, because it. Okay, so Nick is by the couch.
I
kinda
know where
at an
everything
angle.
is.
Yeah, so it was easier for me to do that than. It's the way my computer's plugged in. Gosh,
Okay, we
bless
gotta
her, I
wrap
love her,
this
but
thing up.
she.
My woman's gonna be home soon.
Oh yeah, and yeah, I gotta go use the restroom and play
Again,
Pokemon.
are
I
you
mean,
drunk?
Pal World, not Pokemon, but
I
definitely.
downloaded
Pokemon.
Steam onto my computer.
Oh yeah,
It's under Pop Culture PB.
you're definitely gonna love it.
It said that my Nintendo Switch controllers could possibly work on my computer.
Ooh, so you could use that to control your pals.
Potentially.
Yeah, and definitely not sponsored, but check out Pal World. Great game. If you're tired of Pokemon's bullshit, check out the people who got it, who got it right. I'm almost to crossbows. I haven't unlocked a gun, but I got a second base now.
A second, you have a summer home?
Yes. Yeah, I beat 2 people, and I found out I don't know how many. I was looking it up.
Are we talking about this or are we ending the stream? This has nothing to do with this has less to do with Wonder Man than Peacemaker.
Anyways, everybody, check out Wonder Man. Great stuff. Thank you everybody for watching. Click like, share, subscribe, all the things. And later tonight, I will be posting my review for one of the best movies I've seen in 2026 so far. The Strangers Chapter 3. Fucking excellent. So great that I was the only fucking person in the movie theater. And from what I heard, this isn't just me going at 11. I talked to some ushers and things just to get a feel of how The Strangers is doing. Either people didn't know that the final one was out, or they've sold, and I quote, 1 to 2 tickets tonight showings. So I gather this movie's gonna do a lot, but goddamn if the train wreck wasn't entertaining, and I'll talk about it later. Thank you everybody for watching. And as always, remember, there is only one rule. Here in the Phantom Zone.
I've never been to Pacoima either.